The 9 Trey Gangsta Blood's former associate, who also testified against them in court, unequivocally enjoys and profits from being a traitor. This is the case regardless of whether he's accumulating over 10 million views on his YouTube videos, ranting on Instagram Live, or criticizing Billboard's questionable charting standards. But there are plenty of rappers who live by a code of silence. Some law offenders never give up names, even if the crime they were caught doing was a setup for police by one of their colleagues. In 2006, recent Versus champion Ludacris even made a song about it, featuring prison-prone rappers Beanie Sigel, C Murder, and the late Pimp C, titled Do Your Time. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at 7 rappers who got caught snitching. Yeah, you heard it right. The alleged snitch 50 Cent. Fifth has been accused of snitching several times, most notably after he aired out much of his hood business on one of his early tracks, Ghetto Quran, and later when he allegedly obtained an order of protection against Ja Rule and some of his Murder Inc. cohorts. That, coupled with his beef with a whole laundry list of different MCs, has caused him to be labeled a snitch almost endlessly. Just Google 50 Cent snitch if you don't believe us. Any truth to it? No way! If 50 Cent was a snitch, we'll have to believe that Fat Joe, Rick Ross, Ja Rule, or someone that he's beefed with in the past would have found some hard evidence to show us by now. Until then, all the talk about 50 being a snitch is just slander. The alleged snitch, Drake. What he allegedly did, Drizzy got robbed in his hometown of Toronto a few years ago at the start of his career and reportedly cooperated with police to help find the guy who did it. A fellow Toronto rapper who is affiliated with the suspect called him out for doing it on Twitter earlier this year, and TwitPicked a copy of an affidavit as proof. Any truth to it? Yeah, a little. Technically though, Drake didn't snitch if he did what this guy said he did. He simply helped police track down someone who robbed him, which by definition isn't really snitching. However, it's something that most rappers would frown upon, especially considering the crew that Drake runs with now. But either way, it didn't seem to faze him or slow down his momentum. T.I. What he allegedly did after getting arrested in October 2007 on federal gun charges. Tip managed to get sentenced to just 1 year in prison, which in turn caused many people in the hip-hop community to question whether or not he struck a deal with authorities to snitch in return for a reduced jail sentence. Any truth to it? Probably not. Tip's short bid deserved to raise a few eyebrows, but because no paperwork ever surfaced to implicate T.I., and because he went on the record over and over again and over to deny the allegations, we took him at his word. He's high profile enough that if he did snitch, something would have shown up on the smoking gun by now, right? Alpha Mega. What he allegedly did. Speaking of T.I., his Grand Hustle cohort, Alpha Mega, landed in hot water when the smoking gun tracked down paperwork that implicated him as a snitch back in September 2009. He denied it, but T.I. still kicked him out of his camp, and other rappers have refused to work with him ever since. Any truth to it? Hell yes, the smoking gun has been right time and time again, and just about always provides legit paperwork to back up their stories, and Alpha Mega's situation was no different. He reportedly helped get a man thrown into jail years ago in order to save his own ass, which is exactly what rappers refer to when they bring up the term snitch. Scarface. What he allegedly did. Back in 2007, Houston rapper Lil Troy accused Face of setting up 2 of his own close friends and getting them arrested for dealing cocaine. It is worth noting, however, that Troy and Face were engaged in a war of words at the time, which is always a reason to be skeptical about snitching accusations. Any truth to it? Highly unlikely. Troy did make a video where he provided some kind of paperwork to try and prove his theory, but like we said, his accusations seemed to come out of a place of anger, so they never stuck. Chalk this one up as a rap beef that went way over the line. Joe Budden. What he allegedly did. During a back and forth with Budden, fellow Jersey City NJ rapper Ransom accused him of snitching on him and letting him get thrown into jail over something that he didn't do. Details on this one are sketchy. Like the Scarface incident we just mentioned, the accusation occurred in the middle of a beef between the 2 rappers, so be wary of the claim. Any truth to it? Not really. This also occurred at a time when simply calling someone a snitch in a YouTube clip was enough to raise a few eyebrows because of all the publicity that the Stop Snitching campaign was receiving, so that needs to be taken into account. We don't believe it. Snoop Dogg. What he allegedly did. We're not quite sure, but in an effort to try and disparage Snoop's name a few years ago, Suge Knight claimed that Snoop had gotten into trouble with the law one too many times to not be behind bars right now, and he questioned whether or not he'd been snitching to the police to save himself from having to do hard time. Any truth to it? Yes, and we've also got a great bridge out here in Brooklyn that we'd like to sell to you, if you're interested. Look, we're not saying that we can prove that Snoop's not a snitch, but yeah, Snoop's not a snitch, and Suge said that he was just trying to get a rise out of him. fail. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.